Okay guys, welcome back. Here we are on page 6. And supposedly somebody out there said that these P parts were wrong. So it's supposed to be P1 instead of P2. Well, guess what? They were right. The instructions are right. I just did P1 on everything here. And same thing down here was PE2. They were saying this was 2, this was 1. Well, whoever was saying that was actually wrong, because off camera I put this whole part together along with part 9 here, because I had to get this part, the whole thing together, just to make sure that these were all right. So here they are. Here's the whole wing. Everything moves when you're done. Now, we're going to take this apart and I'm going to show you where everything was. So here's the fun part. Oh, that tape I wasted. Oh, there's one of the pieces coming out. Let's not lose that. But anywho, this was just for a dry run mock-up. Dry fit so you guys can see everything. And that piece goes together like that. I just glued it, taped it together so I can show you the dry fit. Again, like I said, no fancy editing. This is all live. Okay, here we go. Here's the parts. So, step 1, fix the steel rods. So it's one rod at 50 millimeters long. So there's 3 sizes. All 3 sizes coming in as one little bag. Pretty much small, medium, and a large. Photo etch. You get P1, P2, P3, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 11. So, they were saying this was PE1 was marked, but they were saying it was PE2, so they were wrong. This is why we do a lot of dry fitting and testing before we glue things. So, did all that and then ended up to be PE1, which was what I said. Okay. So we did that, part that. Everything's taped down. Okay, where did that one little piece come from? I'm assuming this one. Nope, that's there, that's there. Okay, that must have came from here. Okay, like I said, I didn't glue anything down. This is all taped. Yep, right there. There we go. And there we go. We'll disconnect that. Don't mind that because underneath here we got some wingtip pylons. So instead of breaking them off, I just tape them off. Then I know they're there and I don't accidentally grab it and start breaking them. So there we go. That part's done. Same thing. This is all taped together. For dry fitting. Move that to the side. Same thing with this one, we'll move to the side. And if I remember correctly, this is, yep, perfect. Everything's upside down. Ha! So, and we lost it. Okay, this little bar goes in like so. These little P parts hang out like so. Make sure you get them in the right way or you're going to do them upside down. So, You don't want to do them upside down and glue it. Then you're SOL. Voila. And this little piece and this little piece go together like so. And everything has its own little spot, so it's kind of not hard to screw up, except, like I said, get them the right way so they're not upside down. Everything just fits right in there. So again, we're going to tape it just to make sure. And according to our instructions, thing sits like that, and that's going to sit like this. So we're going to line these up to make sure everything fits right. Boom, there you go, Bob's your uncle, so that's the right way. How do we figure out that little situation? Again, I think I got this upside down. So we're going to leave the back tape down. And we're going to open this up. Fix everything we just messed up. It says don't glue, but here it says no cement, no cement. See? No cement, no cement. But you can glue the part piece together. Here I'm gluing the connection points, because these are the things that aren't going to be moving. But I do want them to stay still in the build. So screw you instructions, I'm gluing these down. Because the only thing we want to be moving are these. Right? Right. Perfect. We'll let that set for a second. I'll grab my kicker. My CA kicker. Put a drop in there. Drop in there. Drop in there. And a drop in there. This is just to speed up the process here. Normally I don't like using kicker, but sometimes we like to cheat and make sure we get things right. So there we go. That's glued down. We'll close this puppy up, line everything up, and then we'll glue it down with Tamiya. Alright, put that over. We'll scoot up the Tamiya and Andy's Hobby headquarter glue holder. Start gluing this down. I hope you guys are enjoying the first 3 videos. I know the first one was really long, but there was lots to show in that big box. Got a bunch of haters out there, which is fine. Everybody loves haters. There we go, that part's glued. Let's do the side. Okay, I'll cut you guys off here and I'll finish this. You don't want to see me glue that, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, glued that down, ready to go. And the next step in this process, we're going to be doing the top half. So that was the bottom, there's the top half. Everything's already in place, all taped and marked. So we're just going to glue these down with a little bit of CA. I'll use Gorilla glue. So I'm going to remove this tape one at a time. We're going to drop a bit of CA in there so they don't run away on us. Again, you can glue this steel rod down, that's fine. Just don't glue these little pins down, because that's what's going to be holding your part in place. Move that over just a tad and drop it in so it sits nice and flush on the bottom. Good, good, good. Back over here, we'll do the same thing to this side. Keeping the tape in place so we don't lose anything. Okay, good. Over a little kicker here, drop some drops in there. There we go. Kicker's doing its job. Yep. Remove the tape, you're good to go. Bob's your uncle. So we're going to do the next piece. Tweezers. Tweezers. Move the tad just so I can get some glue down here, like so. I'll move this back to its slot and drop it in, just so it sits in there and it gets nice and flush. I don't want a loose aileron, you know. Same thing here, drop that in there. Okay, that's good. Alright, got that done. It's part 2. Now, we're just going to clean up the edges here, do a little bit of sanding. This is not my regular sander. Where'd my regular sander go? There goes all my ordnance. So the one part we thought was going to be hard was actually one of the easiest. So okay, what am I doing with a 300? Give me a 400. 400 right there. Make things a little easier. There, now I can come with a softer one and kind of polish it down. Good there, and I is missing something. Then we'll get my Tamiya static brush. Since we caused a lot of friction there, it's going to be all electrified. There we go. We'll take that back. We're done there. Same thing with these. Give it a quick little brush. Good enough. Now we got that done. Let's put it all together. So we'll do the bottom. And then we'll marry the top and bottom together. And I'll show you a little trick how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take a little bit of tape. I'm going to glue one side here and one side there. So when I put them together, they're going to hold. Yeah, I need a better tape. I need a new tape. There we go. Fresh tape. I'm just going to line that up. You want a little bit of over. There we go. Okay. There's the bottom one. I'm going to line these into the bottom one. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. I keep forgetting to look at the camera and see if I'm in camera or not. And have yourself a little sponge underneath so you can make sure everything's nice and flush. There. That's lined up with that, that's lined up with that. Squish that down. And here comes the CA glue again. Glue. 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 Tweezers. Like these things fit in there nice and snug. See how flat they lay? Make sure you get them nice and flat before you get your kicker, because you don't want it a little loose. And last one. Sure it's in there nice and snug. There we go. Kicker's in there, perfect. We kickered that one already. So now, as you can see, everything still moves. Everything's down in its place. We're going to cut this part out. Just for now. And we'll marry the top and bottom. How we can do that is make sure those are hanging down. Come on. You little buggers. These have to line up with those. Okay, so let it, let it. Whew. Perfect. I'll tape that. Again, tape that together so you know. Bob's your uncle. And voila. If you're wondering where I'm getting my tape from, I got a little tape cartridge here, so everything's in there. Keep my Tamiya tapes all different sizes, and I got a few thicker ones on the side I don't keep. So yeah, there you go. There's part 1 and 2. And then again, we'll just add this to this. But before we glue those, we gotta add it to the fuselage. Everything lines up perfectly. Everything still moves. This is gonna line up in here, and once we sandwich that together, these little hooks right here will hold it all down. I don't know why they did that. It's not gonna move much. There's not much movement to it. Basically just 2 millimeters, that's about it. They could have just glued it on. Other than that, the flaps, we got some nice good movable flaps. Again, I don't get this because it doesn't really move. But oh well, there you go. And that's that part, and we'll do the finish off the other side of the wing, and that'll be off camera. I don't want to be holding you guys up too much. It's just basically the same step, just reverse sides. And when we're done that, we'll be adding our wings to the bottom fuselage. As you see, all the X's, we already did those and added them. So we got the left wing and the right wing we'll add. And we already did the top part. But before we add the top part, we're going to be going back and adding our decals, painting the cockpit area, and adding our cockpit in before we marriage the two top and bottoms together. So, we'll come back when we do that. Let me finish this other wing, and I'll see you when we do the decals. Okay guys, we're going to jump right back into this build here. We're going to start with the intakes and move on to the little fins underneath the fuselage. So that's page 13. And here we've got this little box out of there. This one holds the nose cone and the air intakes left and right, as you can see right there. So we'll leave the nose cone in there for now, because we're not using that just yet. And here are the intakes. Nice neat little packaging. Just cut this open. Both sides. That one's already open because we did it in the video. And looking at them, they look pretty good. You got some nice detailing there. I'll try and get you in the right there. Hope you guys can see that. I can, so yeah. Oh, what is that? That's nothing. Let me see, it's trying to collect stuff, so let's get our static brush. Hopefully that'll help. Okay. Yeah, we got some nice riveting detail going on. A little bit of plumbing here. I'll add a little bit of flash, but that's okay. Comes off with a scrape of a finger. So, that was D52. Yep, D52, they're marked, so let's see if this one's marked. Take the other one out. Got a nice little packaging. And this one is also marked, as you can see right in there. That is C26, and this one here is right there. It says D52. So now we know which part is which, and as you can see, they're all kind of warped. Let's grab the main fuselage. And these guys will be going on here. Like so. Might have them a little mixed up, but there we go. That's how she's going to look, hopefully, when we're done. Anyways, I painted the inside landing gear base. It's the color they wanted, kind of like a grayish green, kind of looks like, whatever. Yep, there you go. It's all blacked out, ready to go. Let's work on these parts. So, part C26, that'd be this one here. So we're looking for C52 and C54. Alright, here we go. We got part C, sprue C. And there's 52 and there's 54. Side by side, we'll click these out. Looks like I'm going to have to be doing some painting here. Alright. Okay, got that part done, so let's see, we got some very nice detailing going on in there. This is supposed to be a screen. You got a bunch of injector pinholes on the bottom. Sprue gate holders. Here's part of the inside of it. A little bit of detailing. Technically, this should be sitting like so. And that's going to sit in there like so. Mind you, still got to clean these up, so that's how it's supposed to look. Let's do some sanding and I'll come back to when we're ready. Alright guys, we got the pieces out. Cleaned up the little sanding nibs. And according to the instructions, we got to have this lined up with this. So we go this way. That's going to line up right there. And that tab's going to line up with this tab down there. With this little banana thing hanging out right there. So she's going to be sitting something like that with this in there like so. It's not a really good way to show you that, because I didn't glue nothing down. So anyways, you guys get the picture there. And as you can see, I got to do some sanding. She's a bit rough in there, so I'll sand that down and I'll get back to you when we got to glue. Be right back. Okay guys, we got the C26, 52 and 54 all ready. I glued it together already off camera. Now we cleaned up the inside, ready to go. We're just going to put these together and hopefully things look good. So we'll just do a dry fit here and then make sure everything's lining up. Everything looks good so far. As you guys can see, we can actually paint this up right now, glue it together and paint it up as is. So I think we'll do that, but we won't put the screens in. That's part 2 of this stage, C28, but we will add E26. That's just a back cover here, so that's not going to be a problem. So, like every piece we're going to add later on, we'll mark it, and that way we know we got to add that later on in the build. So let's glue this together, and as you can see, everything looks good. Sanded out pretty good. We can still paint it, airbrush and paint it, so we got no problem there. Okay, let me add some glue points here. Hopefully I'm still in camera. Put that there, slide that puppy in. I'll just let that sit for a bit. Made sure there's extra glue there holding the sides so there's no gaps. Now I'm just going to squeeze that in just a little bit. And add some Tamiya glue in here. Some on the back wall. Keep forgetting to get you guys in camera here. There she goes. We'll line up the tips here and then finish gluing the rest up. Okay. Some tape so it stays together here, and a little more here on the tip here so it doesn't come apart. Nice and snug. There we go. And there's part 1. Let that settle. Okay, here we're starting on the bottom, the other side, the right side of the intake. We're just going to glue this part on. And how I did that, I just added glue here, and to get it conformed, I'm just laying it on the side so the glue sticks together. Yeah, and that's what the same thing we did in part 1 there. Well, that part. Be right back. Alright guys, we got both intakes all done up. Again, like part C28, we're going to leave D13 out. And here we are. As you can see, the parts look pretty good. You can get in there, we can paint all that. But what I discovered in this part of the build, sorry about that, is that your engine intakes here slide in like so, and where are they? Can't see them. Anyway, if anything, they give stability to the strength to the rest of the parts here. So both pieces are like that, as you can see. But I guess if you can get aftermarket and photo etch screen in there, you'd probably be able to see all that. But I didn't go that route, so you're just gonna get a stock build. Oh well, it still adds character to it. That's all I see. Anywho, so we're gonna move next to these little dorsal fins underneath the plane that sit here and here. Yep. Come back when that's ready. Okay, we got this both done, so just give you guys a quick look on how this is supposed to be. See, they're gonna fit in there like so. They got these little slots there that they're going to be sitting on, and that goes there. Everything's going to line up. Just quick little part. And yep, perfect. I'll move it too much because then we'll see. There, you can see right there. Both sides are lining up. Yeah. As you can tell, we're moving along pretty good. It's starting to look like a jet. Let me take one piece off here, then I'll try and get a closer shot here so you guys can see the side view. There you go. There's a little bit of a gap there. Actually, I don't know if that's a gap. Let's grab the pen. Like, no, that's just paint, so don't worry about that. That's just paint. That's not a shadow. A little bit of gap here, but we can fix that. A little bit of putty and squeeze it in the glue. Should be good. Let's look at the other side now. Same thing. Poof. Sits well. Again, that's just a shadow. I mean, paint on this side is peeking out on there. It's all going to be covered anyways. We still got to prime the outside. Other than that, yeah, everything else is look good. The fit is pretty good. Okay, here we go. That's part of page 12, the intakes, left and right. We're going to leave them off for now, don't worry, we got them marked on the inside so we know which side is which. And it's pretty obviously good. They only go one way, so can't screw that up. Okay, let's move on to the next part. And that'll be these ones here. The little fins underneath. Okay, so that's E. We're on the E sprue. E24 and E25 will be married, along with E23 and E22. As you can see here, they're all right there in that position. They're about the size of my finger, a little bit, as you can see. Yep. So we'll cut these out and we'll glue them together. Come back later. Okay guys, after gluing these together, my little cheap tip for you guys is, instead of using your fingers, try and use your clips. Get them as close to the edge as possible. This way you're not getting glue on your fingers and then having to deal with fingerprints all the way around your wing edges. Well, there we go. Both pieces are done. Let those dry and we'll move on to the next step here. Be right back, guys, with the process we've done so far. This is how she's looking. Got the air intakes in. Got the little fins on the bottom. Pretty soon we can finish the cockpit and then put these two together and keep going. Stay tuned. Okay guys, we're going to skip ahead here because there's other parts we can't possibly do at this moment. So we're going to jump ahead from page 12, skip 13, 14, and we're going to jump page 15 here. And we're going to start the road wheels. Well, I wouldn't say road wheels. Well, yeah, the wheels. And see just a couple parts there, and yeah, come back and we'll slap those together. We got to make two of those. And there you go. Two landing gear wheels done. Come on, focus. There we go. Two landing wheels done. Pretty good. See, do they turn? Yeah, they spin, but there you go. Okay, next we're going to do the front landing gear wheel, the nose wheel. It's just two piece and the rubber tire. Alright, be right back. Okay, here I'm going to be using my wax pen I got from Icky Sticky. You don't want to be touching this because your fingerprints will be all over. And I'm going to take my tweezers and add that to there. There, glad you did that. Take your fingers, line it up, and voila. Push it down, that's pressure. Let it glue together and you're good. Okay, and that, we're going to add that to that. Alright, there we go. Okay guys, I came to a little problem I found here in this kit. I guess in the molding process they left a nice seam line. This is used to be a, by the looks of it, used to be a two-piece section, and they molded it together as one. As you can tell in the light here, the seam runs right across here, the bottom, right underneath to the air intake. So it's kind of leaving a ghost line underneath. And if you look at the other side, you can see the same thing. And it's kind of raised, leaving some flash and edging. Probably won't see much of it after you paint it, but kind of go along with your hobby knife and release some of that flashing. Same thing on the other side. It's kind of raised right here. You can see the kind of like the flashing, the edging right there where my hobby knife is. Same process, just go along gently, scrape it off. Like I said again, you probably won't see it once we add the primer and paint on, so hopefully. But just to let you know, it's there.